Hey guys, Luke Sheckman here. Week 4 of the Kickstarter program. Week 4, session 1 of the week. I hope everybody is doing okay. So, as I explained last week, our emphasis for the second portion of the Kickstarter program is throwing in an isometric element. For the first 2 weeks, we were focusing on eccentric. For these 2 middle weeks, we are on isometric, and then next week, you will see where we move from there. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But yeah, let's get things started, okay? First thing I want you to do, bring yourself down to the mat. I hope you can see me. We are looking for that 90-90 position, just like this. Legs are at 90. My body is laying pretty much relaxed. My bottom arm is straight out in front. I always like to start just like this, hand over hand, and then nice and slow, trying to keep both legs exactly where they are. We are going to open up to the ceiling. Nice, easy, relaxing stretch, opening the pec to the ceiling. Really trying to keep, my bottom half very planted and stationary. Stomach in, bringing it back over, touch, and then right over, okay? I want you to do 5 of these on each side. Hopefully, by the 5th one, you're really taking that top shoulder, and not forcefully, but just naturally bringing it down to the floor, because, that's what's going to show us that we are achieving that opening of the chest and that thoracic rotation that we're looking for. It's also a stretch that feels really good. Speaking of stretches that feel really good, we're going to stay right in this position. And now what I want you to do, we are going to take that top hand. We are going to reach behind. I want you to grab your bottom foot, just like so, okay? You're going to squeeze that heel in towards your glute, looking for that quad stretch from the beginning. But then, as we did before, we're going to take that top shoulder and we're going to rock it down to the floor just like this. And you can also take that other hand and give yourself a little bit of pressure on that top leg. If you weren't getting that thoracic rotation before, you will definitely get it, okay? So what you want to do with this movement, besides doing it on both sides, obviously, what you want to do is that you want to flatten out to the ground as best you can, hold, and then maybe release a little bit, relax, still holding on to that foot, and then bringing yourself right back down, okay? Just like before, we're doing this on both sides, and our goal would be that, by the 3rd or 4th pulse, we've loosened up a little bit, and that range of motion has increased, and hopefully is comfortable throughout, okay? Next thing that I want to do, we did this last week. I want to bring you guys down to the ground. So we're not getting up for the moment, okay? Let's start with our right leg. You're going to bring that heel nice and close in towards your glutes. Whenever I'm doing a glute bridge, I always like to have my hands on my hips because for me, it kind of allows me to distinguish whether or not my pelvis is sitting steady. It's one of those things that if you're not concentrated, it could get away from you. We don't want that. Dig in with that heel of the right, hands on the hips. My other leg is extended 2 inches above the ground. I try and bring those toes to my shin, and then we are going to elevate, bringing ourselves up. Once again, I'm checking for nice steady hips, nice flat hips, and then bringing ourselves down to the ground. Let the glutes touch, second or 2, and then right back up, okay? You are going to be responsible for 5 on each side, all right? Okay. Finally, we can turn over. We are in our all-fours position. Whenever we're like this, the first thing that we always do is make sure that our joints are stacked, shoulder, elbow, wrist. My hands are splayed out. I'm nice and steady. What I want you to do, we are going to push back to downward facing dog. Push those hips all the way back. You want to lower your head so that your ears are in line with your biceps. And we can take a little bit of time and piddle out those ankles. I always feel that once we're in this position, it definitely behooves us to Utilize the ankle, move from side to side. Make sure we stretch those muscles in the lower portion of our legs as well as the upper. So from here, you are going to rock forward. Hands in, perfect push-up position. 5 seconds down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bringing yourself up. Boom. Right back to your downward facing dog. Throwing the hips back, taking a couple seconds. Back to your push-up position. 5 seconds down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do that for 5 repetitions, okay? Getting you ready for our strength block, and at the same time, bringing a little bit of that eccentric action that we were focusing on for the first 2 weeks, okay? All right, let's bring ourselves up to a standing position. Let's do something with a couple parts. Let's mix it up, okay? What I want you to do now, we're going to go into a drop lunge. Taking the left, bringing it back down behind the right, keeping those hips straight forward. If you had flashlights, boom, they'd be shining straight ahead. Boom, knee doesn't touch the ground, body is straight. We are going to come up, tap in the middle if you need to. I just did. We are going to squeeze that knee in towards the body, hug it in towards your chest, and then from here, boom, we're going to go right to a lateral lunge. Okay? I want 4 of those on each side. To reiterate, drop lunge, square hips, tap if you have to, hug to the body, boom, lateral lunge. Okay? 4 on each side. The last thing I want to do for our pillar prep is just a little bit of neural activation. Okay? Wake up your brains, get your pulse going a little bit, get your bodies and your mind ready for exercise. We are going to go from as high as we can, boom, to our low drop squat. That hands are lining our hips, body is straight. Here, boom, down. We have our 2-inch run. Feet are moving twice as fast as the arms. 3, 2, and jump. Okay? So, 4 of those. All the way up. Boom, down. 2-inch run. 2, and go. Okay, so there's a little bit of timing for you guys on this one. If you got a stopwatch, that's great. If you don't, you can do it in your head. But some kind of a signal will bring you down. As soon as you hit the ground, pardon me, as soon as you hit the ground, 2-inch run, 5 seconds, and as soon as you do all 5 seconds, boom, explode out with a broad jump. Okay? Good. All right, on to the first strength block. 3 exercises, 2 exercises, and 1 corrective stretch. And you should be familiar with all of these. Should be. If you're not, that's okay too. So, remember, isometric element is what we're focusing on. We are going for 5 push-ups, 5 3-point push-ups. Holding at the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Halfway. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the ground. 4, 3, 2, boom. Straight up, okay? If you need to, you can go from your knees. Same exact movement, same exact concept. Just make sure that you are holding those contractions for 5 seconds, okay? 5 at the top, 5 halfway, 5 at the bottom, boom, right up, okay? We are going for 3 to 4 sets of everything you see in this strength block. That was exercise 1. Exercise 2. Nice and simple. You will need a timer though, okay? Same straight-legged glute bridge that we did before. Hands on. Bringing it up. But we are holding for 40 seconds. Okay? Making sure those hips are level. Staying concentrated for all 40 seconds. Okay? Stopwatch, phone, whatever. Bringing yourself up. Excuse me. If you're not hydrated, you might feel this one. Holding a straight-legged glute bridge. can definitely make your hamstrings cramp a little bit. Something you can do to avoid that. Hydrate, is what we should be doing anyway. But also, bringing those toes as close to the shin as you can. Okay? Hold it. Isometric, straight-legged glute bridge, 40 seconds. Each side, 4 sets total. Okay? So, 3-point iso hold push-up. Get through your 5. Move right to your straight-legged glute bridge, 40 seconds each side. Then we get into our complementary. I'm trying to think of the best way to show you this. You might know this as a pigeon stretch. Bringing that leg down just like this. We're not quite at 90 degrees, but we're almost there. Dropping our hips down, I always like to make sure that I start in a nice position like this. My shoulders are back, my chest is out. I'm as low to the ground as is comfortable for me. And then what I want you to do 5 times on each side, walk yourself forward. Bring yourself down to the mat. Extend your stretch, accentuate the stretch, sink lower, bring yourself back up. Nice and proud, bring yourself right back down, okay? So that's going to be 5 on each side. If you were curious, if you couldn't see that one, leg goes through just like this, almost creating like a 4, not quite. Always start off, chest proud, head is up, and then when you're ready, slowly bring yourself down. You know, kind of do the catwalk all the way down, all right? So, 3-point iso lat push-up, straight-legged glute bridge, 40 seconds, pigeon stretch, striding stretch, 5 on each, okay? Do that 4 times. You can do that now, and you can pause the video, because the last element we're going to add is good old ESD, okay? You need to get a sweat during this, and we're going to provide that, okay? So, nothing that you have not done before, but just to reiterate, we are going for our plank runs, okay? Elbows are in, perfect push-up position. I always like to start with one leg forward. It puts me in a good place to start, okay? 12 seconds on, that means we go pretty much 100%, all right? 12 seconds on, trying to stay flat, stomach engaged, keeping the elbows in towards the body. 12 seconds hard. Then you get 48 seconds to rest, to drink, whatever it is you need, pace around. We are doing this little sequence, 12 seconds on, 48 seconds off, 8 times, okay? So that is 8 sets of hard cardio burst, okay? Thank you guys. Again, I am Luke, and I hope you're enjoying.